Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Captain Shaq and welcome to Fallout 4, What We Want, the community response. Now a while back, I did a what we know and what we want about Fallout 4, and that video did really well. And even more so, it got a ton of community responses, lots and lots of comments. And a lot of them were arguing about which one is better, Fallout 4 or New Vegas. I'm not gonna go there. But what I do want to talk about, the big thing I want to talk about, is what you guys are looking for in Fallout 4, and a lot of it surprised me. Multiplayer was mentioned, survivability, the storylines for Fallout 3 and New Vegas. A lot of people thought they were lacking or they were awesome. I mean, opinions were all over the place. Was the world size good enough? Locations, people didn't like the location of New Vegas. Some people hated how the location for DC was set up. So I just want to talk to you guys about that, get your response. Because right now, more than likely, Fallout 4 is in development and we're going to be hearing something soon, fingers crossed. So let's get it out there. What, as a community for the Fallout franchise, what do we want to see? And I want to see the comments down below. First thing I want to mention is multiplayer, something that I got so many comments on, and originally, I was totally against multiplayer in Fallout. Like, really, multiplayer? Every Fallout, not looking at you tactics, every Fallout was a single-player game, all about character-driven, story-driven, and multiplayer just wouldn't fit. And I've always been against Fallout in that kind of setting, or multiplayer in that kind of setting. Until recently. I recently introduced my girlfriend to Fallout 3. She'd never played a Fallout game before. She's just getting into PC games, and experiencing that playthrough with somebody else, talking to her about it, working with her, showing how the functionality works in the game, we ended up really enjoying playing it side by side. Even though we weren't playing together, we were playing two different games at the same time and talking about the situation, what's going on. And it added more to it instead of taking away, which was surprising. So, multiplayer. Do I want it in Fallout 4? I'm on the fence. I do not want a deathmatch style, not Call of Duty, not Battlefield, but as a two-person co-op with still having the moddable, maybe. So let me know in the comments below. Multiplayer co-op, maybe two people experiencing the wasteland together, maybe wrapping them both into the story. Do you think they could pull it off? It's not historically a thing that Bethesda does, but could it happen? That's the question. Another thing that came up, and I couldn't agree more, was more survivalist stuff, more skills, more abilities. I really liked New Vegas's hardcore mode, where you actually had to eat, you have to sleep, worry about water. These things added something more to the wasteland. You had to be worried about more than just getting from point A to point B and having enough bullets. They really added something. People were asking for things like backpacks. Being able to actually dig through your backpack and pull stuff out, swap out that kind of gear, things like tactical vests. I don't know how that really fits into the Fallout universe. I don't see that unless they did it in a very Fallout-like style, kind of a 60s style. They did have the big body armor, so I could see some type of tac vest. But definitely backpacks. For God's sakes, add backpacks to the game. A deep storyline. Fallout, New Vegas, and DC, people have been slamming these comments about the story of both. Some people love Fallout 3's story. I thought the main story was very simplistic. It was enjoyable. It was definitely enjoyable. I love Fallout 3. But it was simplistic. It really was. You're the big damn hero. In some way, you're going to end up being the big damn hero. New Vegas, it had more, but New Vegas' story, if you're really into character development, and I am, having a background to your character before you've even made him, I didn't care for that. I didn't like my character having a background because when I play a Skyrim game, when I play a Fallout game, and I know this is true for a lot of you guys, I've seen the comments, I don't want a pre-existing background. I love it in Morrowind and Skyrim and Oblivion. You start as a prisoner and you have no background. You're coming off the boat and there's nothing about your character. You can make it up in your head and go from there, and nobody ever references it. And that really works for the game. In New Vegas, they liked to hint about the Courier's past. Hell, they did an entire expansion about it. So, in my opinion, and I want to hear your guys' response, I'll make another video based on the responses more than likely. Do you like it when a game gives your character a background? Or do you want that to be just this fresh, clean slate? And the next one that came up a few times, not as much as the others, was the open exploration. In Fallout New Vegas, yes, the world was open, but technically it wasn't. You started off at Good Springs, and you could go north, but more than likely you'd get eaten by some damn bugs, the Casadors. So it funneled you south. You had to go through Prim. You had to go through, Novak and go where Boone is, and it kind of just funneled you. Once you get about level 8 or so and you get down to past Prim, you can kind of choose where you want to go. But it funneled you. It really did. You had to go that main direction unless you figured out a way through the bugs. But it was more trouble than it was worth, more likely. And I don't like that. I love it when Skyrim, when they're like, okay, you just came out of the cave, and now what? Whatever the hell you want. Go any direction you want. Do you want to go follow, I can't remember his name. Do you want to go follow the one dude down to the village, or do you want to just go about your day and find your own way? I know when I first played Skyrim, and I'm going to compare these two a lot, I busted out a bow and I went hunting for deer. Like, that was the first thing I did. I went and tried to find food, even though there wasn't a survivalist aspect of the game. So I'd like to see that open exploration come back. Fallout 3 had that nailed. You could just go, and it always seemed like there was something else right around the corner, right over the next hill. And I want that feeling back in the next Fallout. Another one was world size. People were complaining that in Fallout 3 there wasn't enough stuff. It was empty. There was not enough going on. You would walk forever and see nothing of interest. Me personally, I loved it. I thought it sold the idea of a wasteland, and then when something interesting was going on, you'd run over and check it out. New Vegas, I think it was a more active area. I mean, it didn't take you long to get to the next location with something going on or some quest to accomplish, but it was linear in a way. At least for the first couple of hours. World size is bigger, better when it's not as populated. I mean, they can make the world huge, but if there's nothing in it, what do you guys think? Is it smaller map, more populated with interesting things, or larger map, more of that wasteland feeling? I'm curious. And then location. People have said the Boston thing is fake, it's not gonna happen, or it is happening in Boston. Somebody said Chicago, that was a rumor going around for a while. Some people have even said not in the United States. I can't imagine Fallout not taking place in the United States. The big draw for Fallout is the music to me, the location of that kind of old school Americana. If you go anyplace else, you're not gonna have that. You're gonna lose that kind of 60s vibe or 50s futuristic vibe where they were hoping for the future and they made up all these crazy ideas of what the future would be like. You're gonna lose that if you go to, say, Russia, or at least for me, the connection of it being the United States, especially New Vegas. I actually live in Arizona, so I walk out my door and I see New Vegas every day practically. It's the wasteland out here. Does location matter that much? Can they pull off a Fallout if they go to Tokyo, if they go to Berlin, if they go to some other crazy country outside the United States? For me, keep it in the United States. But I'm curious to know, what would your guys' recommendation be for location? Alright guys, I look forward to the comments and seeing what you're excited for about Fallout 4 and what you want in your Fallout 4. If you enjoyed the video and you like this kind of idea of a video series, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe here to TGN for more general gaming goodness, and as always, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.